I'm going to let you spectate this one because I'm crap.
Spawning. You're too harsh on yourself. Spawning down in the bottom right position, representing Cascade Gaming, it is GunGFuBanDa.
And his opponent in the top left, representing the legendary Team Liquid, a legend in his own right, the Polish Protoss player, it is MaNa. I love MaNa. MaNa plays wild.
He does. He is such a... So I think... Oh, I believe it was Roddy. Yeah. Somebody made this comparison on the mainstream a couple days ago, and I think it's so astute and so on point. So Harstem, he plays a lot like stats, a lot like Showtime, very much standard macro-oriented.
The Lambo of Protoss.
The which?
The Lambo of Protoss.
Exactly. Looking to win based on decision-making, good positioning, generally just solid play, never being caught out of position. Whereas MaNa plays very much like Zest. Yes. And that is to say, he is going to, if he senses even the slightest bit of weakness and thinks he can kill you with the build, he is going to tear that little tiny piece, that little fold in your armor that's, you know, not quite flush. He's going to grab that with both hands, rip it off, and absolutely just huck it out and completely expose you. And I feel like him and Zest are very, very similar in that regard.
I agree.
Just extremely crisp micro players and really, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, the thing with MaNa, and I've always said this has always been my go-to term for him, is that he thrives in chaos. When things get weird and you don't know where to look, and you don't know what to pay attention, and your build is kind of falling apart, MaNa, that's where he wants to be. He's going to make the most of a bad situation, because usually he's the one creating the weird situation. So far this game, very normal, because there's no ramp on the low ground. We're seeing just 2 gate expands up on the high ground. Double Adept coming out here for GunGFu, and Stalker Sentry for MaNa. So MaNa is going to have that little bit less in terms of moving across the map, but he's going to be able to scout a lot quicker behind his opponent's main and things with that Sentry hallucination. And MaNa continuing to make Stalkers here is a little unusual. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Twilight, maybe. Do we typically see this many Stalkers? I don't know.
It's nice to have extra Stalkers when dealing with the Adepts. You can, you know, go after them, force shades in certain locations. Theoretically, 2 Adepts can actually beat a Stalker, so this is the kind of thing where you want to be a little bit careful. Of course, MaNa has very, very good micro, and he's unlikely to let himself get jumped on. But it's still one of those scenarios you got to be a little bit careful. Speaking of being careful, he's got that probe on the... I guess the front door, and you know, Protoss needs a door, but MaNa says, "Yeah, we'll make do with whatever kind of plasma energy this is for now."
Yeah, Stargate for both of them. Much quicker here from GunGFu, as he didn't spend the gas on that Stalker Sentry. But it's going to be scouted here, very well timed from MaNa. He can probably even keep that hallucination around to see exactly what comes out of the Stargate. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And Oracle as well here for MaNa at that little bit later. So it's unlikely to find a lot of damage. But of course, going to be able to get information. We do have a pause. Thanks to lag. I'm going to bring it back to us, because I don't feel any lag at all. Did you feel any lag, Steadfast?
I did not, but okay. I honestly, I was a little bit confused as to why he let that Adept Shade finish. And that does make sense. The funny part is because, I guess we shouldn't talk about it too much just in case they tune in, but it's actually not that bad for him that the Shade finished. Okay, never mind. We're going to get started up right away. Yeah, with where the probes are, he can actually hit multiple probes. He didn't recognize the situation, and he will actually lose one. Maybe. No, he's not going to lose 2. Oh, he actually cancels the Shade.
Yeah. I
feel like MaNa could have chased that.
Yeah, I agree with you, and a bit of a missed opportunity there as well from GunGFu, as you said, because he probably could have found some damage here. Now, we're seeing these warpins coming in. Very nice scout by the Hallucinator, not by the Hallucinator, by the Oracle here. We'll get 1 Stalker. The Oracle going down would be a bit of a loss here for MaNa. Jeez. But it's already now very low on health, and that's going to mean diving into the main is going to be very difficult. MaNa is going to be able to separate these Stalkers, and he might be able to pick one of them off here. He will. That's a great pick off. Looking at things lost so far, MaNa has lost 4 probes to the Oracles, but he's managed to kill 3 Stalkers nice and early, and that means army supply is heavily in MaNa's favor. He's going to lose a lot more probes, though.
Yeah, this is a little bit dicey right here. The
Ooh,
shield battery, of course,
okay.
does that matter, but he will get an Oracle. And that does really take the sting out of those
Yeah.
losses.
Yeah, no longer able to one-shot these probes by coming in with those marred up shots. Means now that the Oracle is basically a walking revelation machine, unless the second one is built, MaNa's going into Phoenix as his steadfast. So he is looking to, I think, just match his opponent. GunGFu also has made one Phoenix. I'd be surprised if any of them make, like, a lot. Weird game so far, very chaotic, as we said. And as we said, MaNa kind of coming out on top of the chaos.
Yeah, some real weirdness right here. The Phoenix will force eventually a recall. Oh, the Stalker's actually moved a little bit out of position, but that is going to be a dead Oracle if the Phoenix gets a shot. Yes, it does. Oh, that's a little bit sloppy right there for MaNa. He did not need to take all that shield damage on the one wounded Oracle. That actually really sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Forge coming down here for MaNa. He will be the first to bite on those upgrades. And Blink coming in from GunGFu, going to take down those unbuildable plates here. Stasis wards are going to be the main purpose here of the Oracles from this point on. Revelation and Stasis wards. It's unlikely you find actual damage. They're just mobile scouts that can also defend quite well. And we're moving into a pretty normal mid-game. MaNa is a couple of workers behind, but he's up a little bit in army. The third base is, let's take a look here, quicker here for GunGFu. GunGFu getting all of those probes has really helped him out in this game. If he hadn't killed those 8 probes, we'd be looking at a very, very different situation, I think, right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this Phoenix is going to intercept the Oracle of GunGFu. The funny part is it takes Oracles a very long time to die, and he's actually going to pick off 3 probes right there.
That's not it. Okay.
I mean, it's not ideal losing the Oracle, because you mentioned earlier Revelations are good. In addition, Stasis wards can be very, very, very powerful. But, I mean, 3 probes is more than you expect to get out of what is probably going to be a dead Oracle.
Yeah, I agree. I like to keep the Oracle for a little bit later. Of course, what would happen right now if a DT was to suddenly show up? The Oracle's being dead. Now, these players are way better than me. They know that that isn't coming. It is, in fact, going to be Blink finishing up for GunGFu. And GunGFu right now is probably going to be the stronger of the 2. How many? Is that the first Immortal? Yeah, if he'd have made a lot of units and gone with Blink, there might have been some potential. But we are moving into a more standard mid-game, with both of the players now going into Stalkers. Immortals, Blink, as we said, is much faster here for GunGFu, as it has now completed, meaning he's going to be able to defend very well, and also maybe look for some harassment with those, pick off some of these units. Both players are just going to scout, feel one another out, look to take a 4th base and go up into their major tech choices.
Yeah, we're seeing GunGFuBanDa. He started that charge extremely fast. And speaking of Blink, MaNa recognizes he's too late to get Blink. He's just going to go straight into charge. And he's going to rely on Immortal Charge Lot to try and deal with his opponent's setup. And I think that's probably a good call. Speaking of the Stasis wards, by the way, we do have a nicely played...
Oh my god!
Well, that's not the one I was talking about, but that was damn well nicely placed. Man, he gets every single Stalker.
Yeah.
Oh, does he... Okay. Well, now he has a choice. Does he go and try and pick these units off? I think the answer is definitely yes.
It doesn't look like he's going to, in fact. He's got himself a lot of time to get more Stalkers. He's adding on 4 more gateways. His +1 finished in that time. I really wish we would have seen him go. Look how many Immortals he has. He would have had 2. His +1 would have been done as well. I think he could have picked off a few of those. Even though some would have blinked away, he might have got 3 or 4. And that would have been almost for free. So maybe a missed opportunity. Of course, he couldn't see as much as we can. So hindsight is 20/20 or whatever they say. I don't really know the saying. MaNa is now up in supply. His upgrades are almost bang even. GunGFu maybe has 10-second lead, but it's not much. Oh, this is cute. This is so cute. Bonk.
Babs, I think that's 4 probes right there. That's pretty darn nice. Yeah, that's not bad. That's like 160 minerals per minute. It's pretty decent.
It's pretty darn decent, yeah. We see now Archon's coming in here for both players, actually, moving up into them, but it looks like MaNa will have the advantage at Archon numbers. He's already at 4 to the one of his opponent. And now MaNa is going to be defending this 4th base, but I really like his army. It seems really strong. Charge is so good, but not into a funnel, not into a choke point like that.
Yeah, this is a situation. Okay, GunGFuBanDa is going to take these rocks down.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get aggressive right here. Now, with Diligent chrono boosting, way better chrono boosting. I think he just started the upgrade faster, which is weird because MaNa had his +1 done first. GunGFuBanDa might have a +2 timing here. The problem is there's so many. Well, but there's also so many Archons for MaNa.
That revelation just hit nothing. Oh no, it did. I'm wrong. Ignore me. Yeah, these Archons, they're spread pretty well. You can see that they would be able to collapse in and get good surface area. The hallucination here will take a lot of the targets, and now we see the fight coming in steadfast. Archons down at the south side here for GunGfu, really not getting much of the actual army. The real bulk of MaNa's army right now is his Archons, and they have great surface area on these Stalkers and Zealots. You can see the army is just melting of GunGFuBanDa as they're being chased down. This is really quite scary, actually, for GunGfu. He's losing a lot. He's down in workers. His upgrades are better, as you said, but MaNa's +2 is going to finish right now, and that means MaNa might want to take this fight.
Oh, he definitely does. He smells blood in the water after a really great fight. Oh, but he loses the War Prism. That is a big deal. GunGFuBanDa had just lost his own War Prism. Now there's battery overcharge, though. We do see a hilarious lift on one of those Stalkers, which I guess is better than nothing. Big concave right now for GunGFuBanDa, and with the War Prism Zealots
in the back, though.
Oh, they are
completely untouched.
They are chonking away, and now the reinforcements of MaNa actually showing up and killing off the reinforcements of GunGFuBanDa.
Weird
but
fight.
charge lots will get on top of these Immortals. Immortals do not deal with charge lots well. However, MaNa's own reinforcing charge lots show up and get those Immortals out of there. That was a really expensive fight with both sides overcommitting. First, GunGFuBanDa overcommitting into his opponent's 4th base, and then MaNa returning the favor. And at the end of the day, it's MaNa coming out a little bit ahead, but a bloody fight on both sides.
Very. Now, +3 has started for MaNa quicker than that of his opponent. That's going to end up most likely having a bit of impact here. GunGfu needs to start that off like in the next 10-15 seconds, or he's going to be really behind. Unless he can put a lot of chrono into it and catch up that way, who knows. In terms of army supply right now, pretty close. GunGfu still has a slight lead. That prism going down probably saved GunGfu the game at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
It was very scary. Now, the Archon counts, not too diseven. That's not a word. Not too uneven. 6 for MaNa, 5 for GunGfu. GunGfu's doing a good job here, but the Immortals did stand strong, and they really chunked down those Stalkers and those Archons. If they're able to get some big volleys off, we're going to see the tankier, bulkier units moving out here. But with shield batteries and overcharge, I don't think this is a good push for MaNa.
No, it is not. And look, flanking Zealot setup. He might actually sandwich this whole army. MaNa trying to warp Prism with these units out of here, but GunGFuBanDa doing the same thing with his Archons to bring them into the fight. And now he's going to flank with Zealots. And that was a defensive fight of the year right there. Out of GunGFuBanDa, all of his Archons staying alive, killing off all his opponents, and the War Prism goes down. That's got to be it. That's got to be game 1 going in favor of GunGfu.
The supply, Yolan Merlo said once. Right now it's 118 to 77. MaNa has 9 army supply. GunGfu, go, you silly sausage. Please go and kill him. MaNa tried to take another base in this scenario where he cannot do it. He cannot defend it. He has nothing. He has a couple of Archons. There's Archons here for GunGfu. He does not know how ahead he is right now, instead going to drop. He could end the game if he just went.
Absolutely he could, and especially with this double War Prism setup, he might just be waiting to see what he can get done. Oh no, drop in the main, not at this heavily defended 3rd. That is, well, that's going to be a dead War Prism. And meanwhile, main fight coming on in Archons versus Archons.
That defense is Oh my god, right now, GunGfu really doesn't realize how ahead he is. The cannons are doing a lot here for sure, but this warp pit is massive. It's 72, he's got double the army supply or just shy of here. And surely at this point, GunGfu realizes what kind of spot is he in. If he gets that prism, and he does! Huge volley from the Stalkers. I think there was an Archon in that.
I don't know, but either way, losing the micro potential is so devastating for MaNa. And GunGfu, he has so much firepower with these +2 Archons. +3 is going to finish up for MaNa, but he's got hardly any army on the fight to take advantage of it. This is just looking so brutal, and it's going to be too much. GunGfu, after a very back and forth, game number 1 takes it down and puts himself in a good spot to start up this series and potentially get himself a series win.
Yeah, just a little bit. That was absolutely immense. That was incredible play. The defensive fights he took, Unbelievable. He sniped, I think, 3 prisms in the end. That was so crucial to the fights and so crucial to what was going on that GunGFu just did an insane job in that game. I really thought MaNa had it for a while. As we said, if GunGFu hadn't have killed some workers early on, he would have definitely been in a bad spot. But GunGFu playing PvP really, really intelligently there. That was so much fun. And we'll be getting into map 2, Juggernaut, very, very soon. An update for you guys that are asking. The main stream is now up. Don't worry about it. You can go head over there. But check out the squad stream. It would be cool if you could stick with us for a little bit. There are, of course, foreign language streams too, but none of them are as handsome as Steadfast.
Or as charming as Grant.
Or as bald. I'm so bald.
As beautiful. Bold and beautiful.
I didn't agree to shave my head, either. This is the thing. Someone made a joke about it, like, hey, if we make $5,000 by the end of the day, Grant will shave his head. Someone in Twitch chat said it. And I was like, ha 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 ha, no. And then we made $5,000 in 20 minutes. And I was like, I can't say no. It was all for charity. So the clippers came out, and my dad shaved my head.
There you go. It's how history was made.
No.
If you can meme it, if you can dream it, you can make it happen.
Yeah, you can meme it happen. Okay, we are into map 2. I'm going to find your camera. Where are you? There you are. And we're going to get into this one because our first player leading the series, a little bit of a surprise maybe here. It is the blue Protoss player from Germany representing Cascade Esports. It's GunGFuBanDa.
And his opponent, spawning up in the top right, representing Team Liquid, it is MaNa. A little bit of a weird setup there in game number 1.
Very.
Kind of just all over the place a little bit. He didn't get that blink, which when I think of MaNa, I think of Blink Stalkers.
Me too.
And I think of Immaculate Micro with them. So I guess not really playing his game. He still took some really good fights, but GunGFuBanDa just took a few more that were just way too good.
Yeah. The prism snipes, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again, were just immense. He just sniped so many key prisms when he was being attacked, and then even in the defense, which stopped a lot of the micro. Of course, Immortals can't micro about a prism and things like that. Archons can't go in and out to dance to keep their health up. So very well played by GunGFu in map 1. We're now on Juggernaut, which is a very long map. Again, it's a very good blink map. There's a lot of ridges and cliffs that you can blink up and down, ramps and things, high ground, low ground you can use with blink. And we got very normal openings across the board. GunGFu's stolen 5 minerals, and he's going to be heist of the century, running back home with them, I'm sure, before things are too gone. Or he's even going to zap a few gas probes. That's naughty.
Very cheeky lad, this one. And the probe finds a guy in the on the street. There's this guy, he's just bullying random people, and then another guy says, "Hey, that's enough." And he squares up, and then because they're not professional fighters, they just go home. And they pretend like nothing happened. Look at this, by the way, from MaNa. Fake second pylon. So GunGFuBanDa, he's gonna see it. Oh, he does. Oh, never mind. Okay, well. Oh, he didn't.
He didn't.
That's
big. That's so big, because now he's got to prepare for a proxy. He has to, when he sees nothing, he has to think, okay, this could be a proxy Stargate. Could be a proxy Robo, it could be one gateway if we're max packs in. It could be anything at this point. So that's going to force GunGFu into a very defensive posture. GunGFu, on the other side of the map, has kept everything at home. Played very standard, very normal. I'm not plucking my eyebrows, chat. It's going to get that probe now as well. Twilight Council started and then cancelled. Nope, it does go up just in a different place behind. Okay.
Yeah. MaNa, that was a cool move. I like that. I like the fake proxy pylon. It's something we haven't seen for a while, but I've seen recently become a little bit more common once again, and I just think it's really, really nifty. I think it's such an awesome move. And MaNa, he's gonna go for a quick expand. Ooh, does the probe see it? Okay, we gotta check that vision. Gotta check that vision.
No.
Nope. Doesn't see it. That is a big denial on the scout.
Yeah, that is a big denial. Now, GunGFu really is playing in the dark this game. He's seen next to nothing In terms of units, he has 4 Stalkers on the map, so if he was to run into something, he'd be pretty safe. He's got some cojones right now to be out on the map. If there was a Proxy Oracle, it would be hitting about now. That's not, of course, going to be the case, but he doesn't know that because he didn't see that second pylon, so I think GunGfu maybe did his research and knows that MaNa is one to hide a pylon. You can see he is continuing to look around. He's going to go to the front here. Now he sees that the Nexus is down. Maybe to get a Stalker here, or just a pylon possibly, which would be really nice. He's going to get certainly some beat up damage on it. A couple of Stalkers from the back here being warped in to go for the flank. This is cute. May force the recall. Pylon will live. Always engage a flank on the weak side. Stalker not traded. Nice defense there by MaNa.
Yeah, honestly, that I think MaNa might have gotten a little bit too cute right there.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna flank this army. I'm gonna flank this army," and then he was like, "All right," and he just waited for the warp in.
Yeah.
And I think he may have, it's one of those things you never really realize. Oh wow, a lot more Stalkers right here for MaNa at the moment. GunGfu, though, he's going to be on top of it. He's going to get out of there. You never really remember how much more your opponent has, or how slow warp-ins are, until you need them to be fast. Nice. And he kind of got caught, loses a Stalker, and then by the time that flanking setup comes in, not the best scenario. Now, this is going to be Blink versus no Blink.
Yeah, Blink is now done for GunGFuBanDa, guys. MaNa is still a good 45 seconds away, probably, from it, or at least a while. And we can see here, if the sentries go down early, there's actually no energy on them. So there is one battery here. Battery overcharge not being used. I don't know if it's available. There we go. It's going to get fired off here. Nice defense there from MaNa using that overcharge, targeting correctly. He did lose,
2 HP.
I believe. He only lost 1 Stalker, actually. That's really, really sick.
2 HP on that pylon. That was a crazy save. And nice micro from GunGfu. Does pick off a sentry there. We do see a nope. That's just a probe. I was gonna say I thought there might have been some adepts warping in, but nope. For now, GunGfu, he's just continuing to try and utilize this setup. Guardian Shield going to be very helpful, and now the blink is done for MaNa, and he's going to be able to blink back, save that 1 Stalker, blinks forward, which is a little bit overly aggressive. Ends up losing 2 Stalkers, and GunGFuBanDa overall in this game has killed 2 more Stalkers and an extra sentry over his opponent. And that was, we basically just saw the 2 extra Stalkers right there as MaNa got way overly aggressive.
Yeah, MaNa's had this proxy set up for a long time that he's not been able to use, which is, of course, he's not losing anything by having it there, except the probe that is building it. But he's not been able to find any aggression. We actually have something in the bottom right here for GunGfu. I think it's just 1 Stalker that has just walked up by it. Yeah, he's just missed that. So this is going to hit him as a bit of a surprise, actually. If these 2 Adepts can shade him behind this mineral line, we'll see a lot of workers go down. There's like next to nothing here. Finally, MaNa is going to be able to shut down this pylon that was being so frustrating and aggressive. I really want to see those Adepts shade in. They've got such a window. I know he can't see it and we can, but there really is potential here.
Yeah, there's huge potential right now. We also see a 4th gateway coming up for MaNa. He builds a War Prism. He's going to get a little bit aggressive with this, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, look at what he just put in the War Prism. That's a sentry.
Nice. He's going to force for the ramp, right?
He's going to damn well try. If he can, there's a lot of potential to just end the game right here.
If he can catch the Immortals, this would be incredible. Now we are going to see a blink in from GunGfu, and this is going to find a lot of damage, actually. Look at that sexy Artosis pylon that's powering the Robo, the Gateway, the Forge, everything. Unpower it. He's going to see you later. No Tasteless pylon here, and that is going to get cancelled. Meanwhile, we do have that force field on the ramp coming in. It looks like, there we go. That's going to be the Robo unpowered. The Prism. It's going to force a recall here, actually. There's no big Artosis pylon. This is going to be probed, pulled off of the line. I actually think GunGfu, if he plays this okay, might come out in a decent position here.
He picks off the War Prism as his first target. An excellent decision right there. And MaNa going to lose a lot of these units on the retreat. Ooh, nice blink right there. Recognizing, I just want to get as close to that army as I can. Picks off 1 or 2 extra Stalkers. Very astute to not blink to the low ground just to get as close to that ledge as he can. That was actually a genius level play. And taking a look at the resources lost, it is massively in favor of GunGfu. Yeah. And, oh, nice blink micro. Now he's going to blink it on top of these units. Will take out a 1 or 2 extra Stalkers.
Yeah, that acceleration zone generator just paying dividends. The high ground vision being provided by the Observer as well means GunGFu is just trading so well right now. He just killed 2 more. What does MaNa have in terms of army supply? It's 28 to 51. He's going to have battery overcharge, but that's about it. Even that pylon, very low. A reinforcement pylon is there. Now the Immortals join the fray. There's a force field available to keep workers away or to keep stalkers in the front here. These Immortals get powering shots in. The battery will go down. And just like this, it looks like GunGFu is going to storm his way forward. He's looking for the win. Is GunGFu about to 2-0 MaNa Steadfast?
This is a huge result, and that you called it perfectly. Those force fields so good against the probes. Now we do have on the other side of the map a little bit of harassment coming in from MaNa. A big blink. That's, I don't know if that's it. He does get both Immortals, and the probes are helping out. But I don't think he's... Actually, that's Zealot adding on a lot of DPS as well. Yeah,
but there's too many Stalkers left over, I think, with Blood. They're also really high in hit points generally. So in a straight-up fight, I actually think GunGFu could have stayed a bit longer. The key takeaway here is GunGFu is up. Double the supply of his opponent nearly. He cleaned up at home with a Stalker warping, which prevented him. He's going to get to the 3rd now, kill another couple of probes, and take down a pylon. That's not going to supply block his opponent, but because MaNa has no bloody units. Take the fight! If there's one thing I tell GunGFu, it's be more confident. You're playing like a legend right now. He's going to do it now. There's a battery here, but there's really not very much. In terms of Stalker coverage here, battery overcharge comes out, but with reinforcements coming in, and the Prism is on the way for GunGFu, I think GunGFu's going to be able to close this one out Steadfast.
It is looking very promising for that. A very aggressive blink forward does net him another Stalker. At the very least, just go over to the 3rd base and force your opponent to fight you away from those shield batteries. Away from the shield batteries where they can't pull probes. You know, take a 4th Nexus during all the... Or, sorry, a 3rd Nexus. I mean, if you want to take a 4th, that's fine too, but that's a little bit bold.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, just, you know, keep the pressure on, but also...
I like this.
Give yourself a path forward. And another Artosis pylon, 2 more gateways getting depowered. MaNa has 1 gateway powered right now.
Yeah, this is not good whatsoever, because now the reinforcement Stalkers are here. You can see 5 have just blinked forward in the middle of the map to join the next 4 that have just walked in. Looking at Stalker numbers, 23 to 10, plus a Prism for that backup blink. Observer to give high ground vision. The Nexus is going to be targeted here. This Nexus is literally everything in terms of economy right now for MaNa. MaNa doesn't have enough. MaNa does not have enough units on the ground. Probes are going to be pulled, but the surface area here of GunGFu is just too good. And if GunGFu can hold his nerve, GunGFu will be able to take down this Nexus. GunGFu will be able to take down the Stalkers, and GunGFu is going to take down the series.
That he is. I think he might have just killed his own Observer. But what a power move right